But as soon as he put on that tux, he freaked out.
Freaked
He
out. I thought
he
he was gonna
freaked
have a
out.
full-on anxiety
He
attack.
I think he almost did. It was like he put on the tie and was like, I can't breathe.
He couldn't
Take
even
this
tie
tie
the
off.
tie.
Turn off the
It was
cameras. Like,
wild.
welcome to our first episode of The Single Standard. This is our very first episode. I'm Autumn, a dog mom and engineer who's living a soft life here in Chicago.
And I am Maya, a journalist, dog, and cat mom who lives in Atlanta.
And Maya and I met at Spelman. One thing that we have in common, we love dating reality shows, and we're both single. So here we're going to give our soft takes and opinions on what's happening in pop culture, specifically dating reality TV.
Because dating shows might get the spotlight, but we set the standard. So this is our very first segment of the single standard. And this kind of came to be because of our joint love of Nick and Olandria from season 7 of Old Island, which, they are better known as Nic and Olandria or the Van Carthens. And so we figured it might be fun to do a Van Carthens moment of the week. And so we're just going to talk about what our favorite moment was from either Nick or Olandria or both that happened in the past week. And Autumn, you can go first.
Okay, this one was tough. There's a lot that happened this week with both Nick and Alandria, but my favorite moment of the week really has to do with the family of the Van Carthen, extended family, specifically Zenaria, aka Zan. Um, Alandria's little sister, Zan, came on her live and we got to meet her and I just thought it was so cute. For one, she looks exactly like Alandria, just like
She
the
really
mini
does.
me, the mini
Crazy.
me little version. She was so adorable, but I really loved the support that Alandria was giving to her. So Xana's a rapper and it sounds like she's got some potential for some projects. And I just love how Landria was talking about she was even before like Love Island and she didn't know anybody. She was willing to like show some cute pictures and slide into some DMs to help Zan get on the screen.
I love that.
Um, so yeah, I really love it, and it just shows like we've seen Ella before with Nick, and to know that Alandria has her own little sister. It's really cute. So I'm really excited to see what's next for Zan, and then also how Alandria helps to support her.
Okay, so the live is popping this week because my Van Carthen moment of the week is also from Olandria's live. Um, After she was on with her sister, she went to Subscriber Only Live for her super fans because, of course, I'm a super fan. And there was a moment when she was talking about how, you know, she didn't have her first kiss until she was in college, and she had no idea that her kisses were so passionate or intense, and how when she watches them back, sometimes she has to like cover her eyes because she's like, "Oh wow, those are steamy." And so we were in the chat, talking about different kisses and talking about obviously one of the favorites is the soul ties kiss. And she was just like, yeah, had him kicking his leg and his face in the pillow, just off a kiss. And then she kind of looks up in the distance and you can like with a smile and a twinkle in her eye. And I was like, oh, she reminiscing. That's what's going
Yeah.
on. And so I thought that that was really cute because she's getting more and more comfortable with us. And like, I appreciate seeing more and more of her personality, especially when she does these lives.
Yeah, I feel like her eyes were probably dilated, like she had one of those Nick real moments where you
Yeah,
could read how she was feeling.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, exactly.
I loved it. I hope we get more lives from her in the future.
Me too. Me too, for
Yeah.
sure.
We're really starting to know more about her.
Yeah. So now we can transition to the main conversation. Let me get my notes.
Love is Blind this week. So this week we are in episode 10 and episode 11. What did you think? I was entertained this week. Like I feel like we were fed. When I
Yeah,
saw that there were only two episodes, like if you compare the first week there were six, I think
right.
we had three, and now
Yep.
we're down to two. I
Hmm.
felt like just as much happened in terms of like moving the show along this week in the two episodes as what happened within 6 weeks.
Yeah, like they really dragged it in the pod
Yeah,
episodes, like in the very beginning episodes. And so um they kind of flew through stuff, but it also was like needed, right? So yeah, we had two breakups.
yeah,
We had two breakups, and one should have been a breakup.
right.
And I think I've said before that this is the only season where I don't think I want anyone to say yes at the altar. Um, so we started with six. We are now down to three because Patrick and Casey disappeared, or Casey disappeared shortly after the engagement. Um, so yeah, so I think I have a hot take.
All right.
I think I might not be I might be alone on this one. But I
Hear it.
feel like the men, with the exception of Edmund, which we'll get to, had so much more emotional intelligence than the women this week.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Not a hot
This
take. Good.
week and former weeks as
Because you know I'm
well.
a girl's girl. But so
Yeah,
like these girls, man, they make it hard.
yeah.
So I appreciated, we can go into the first breakup, Joe and Madison. And you could just see at the end of episode 10, he put on his tux and his soul left his body. He was like, oh no, what's going on? And he literally ran. And what I appreciate about him is that he went to her, he was honest about how he was feeling. He made a decision that he did not want to get married and that they needed to end the experiment. And he stuck to it no matter um how much I mean, honestly begged, you know. Um
The
and
begging, the
listen, I'm not
begging that happens.
listen, I begged for a relationship, the same relationship a few times this year. So I'm not judging, but
Right.
so I've
Ain't too
been
proud to beg.
exactly, exactly. So I understand the emotion behind it. So I can see
Please,
how you
baby,
can get
please
there.
don't go.
Right. Give me one more chance. Yeah. But I appreciated how he stuck to his guns. He didn't fold to like pre emotions. And it's like I was feeling really bad for her, even though all season she has really like irked my spirit. Um,
Yeah.
but then she's like complaining because he's not like holding her while she's crying. And I'm like, he just broke up with you. He
We,
probably doesn't think he should.
right.
I would be
And
like, get off me, don't touch me. So then I kind of like came back. I was like, oh yeah, there's Madison. Okay. What
yeah.
did you think of the breakup?
Um, I want to say like read the room, right? It just saying, Madison, if you were honest with yourself and you were honest with like the energy that you've been getting from Joe, this breakup has been a long time coming. The breakup should have happened. Like, I don't want to say he should have pulled a Casey, but he could have pulled a Casey. He knew as soon as he saw her that this was not what he wanted to sign up for. He knew it right away. Like his body kind of reacted and he was like, "Oh, you're not the same person." You know?
Right,
And
right.
and even when they went to Mexico, like it was never it was never right for him.
Yeah.
And I just felt like he gave it as much of a chance as he could. Like he did everything that we could ask of him to really see, is love blind. And so like I really want to give Joe the kudos to say he didn't react to say, maybe I don't have like this initial attraction for her. Let's see if it'll grow. Let's see if it could be something. He did that. But as soon as he put on that tux, he freaked out.
Freaked
He
out. I thought
he
he was going to
freaked
have a
out.
full-on anxiety
He
attack.
I think he almost did. It was like he put on the tie and was like, I can't breathe.
He couldn't
Take
even
this
tie
tie
the
off.
tie.
Turn off the
It was
cameras. Like,
wild. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
And then they were trying to do like a sit down interview with him, and he's like, "No, let's
Right.
do this tomorrow. I can't do this." I was like, "Ugh."
Right. Yeah, he was real. And you know, Joe had been engaged before this. And so he probably knew where he didn't want it to get. And like at this point he went as far as he could go. On the flip side of it, you know, Madison, I'm wondering what's going on with her women's intuition. Like, why didn't she see that he was uncomfortable? Why didn't she see that he knew that she wasn't the girl for him? You know,
Yeah,
she had the exact opposite reaction. When she put on a dress, she was like, "Oh, I can visually see myself there." Like her future life flashed before her. And for him, his future life flashed before him, and he was like, "Oh, hell no." Like, let's end
exactly,
this now, tomorrow.
exactly.
Yeah.
I do think he is also a bit of a commitment phobe.
Yeah.
I think he's not ready for that type of relationship yet, which is fine. Like these folks are young.
Right.
He's in his late 20s. Um, what I thought was wild because I'm like, the thing about him that it's a double-edged sword, right? I
Okay.
love and also like cringe about him
Mhm.
is how honest he is. He is so honest when he's speaking, especially
Yes.
when he's speaking to the cameras. And he's even honest with Madison, maybe not all the way, he's maybe like 98% the way honest with her throughout the experiment. But
Right.
when when he's outside the apartment building after the breakup, I guess they probably asked him, "How do you feel?" And he was just like, "I feel relieved." I was like, "She's gonna see this, bro. You can't even like
Right.
hold it together."
Right. Like, "Oh, I'm a
So,
little sad," or, "Oh, I'm
right,
broken up."
right,
Yeah, his honesty was kind of refreshing.
for sure.
Yeah.
Just like, our favorite moment from last week where he was just going in on Nick.
Great hat.
Beautiful, beautiful gowns.
Right. It's like, "Nick is a great guy, some might say." Great hat.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Some might say took me out.
Yeah.
Um, so do we want to go to the next breakup or do we
Yes,
okay.
let's go to the next breakup. Now, this was a long time coming as
Yes.
well. And again, I have to ask, like, two things stood out to me. One was, where is your woman's intuition? Like, maybe it was there, but it manifested in a weird way. Like, um, Annie would get drunk and then be like, "This isn't right. You don't love me," you know? And she was like sloppy drunk, and it was kind of embarrassing. I'm embarrassed for her, the way that she came at him,
Yeah.
because it wasn't open communication. It was like drunken communication, and she couldn't get past to say, "I don't think we're on the same page." It was more like, "You're not loving me." And it was her doing that, at least Nick's reasoning from what he explained, like those type of arguments about nothing is what ultimately broke them up. But the thing that really like kind of freaked me out again was, why is she begging? Like, why is she like, "No, no, you can't leave." And he's like, "You can't hold me hostage." And I'm just like, girl, accept it. Like, don't,
She was
don't
very much
beg.
just like, "No, I'm not."
Yeah.
And like
Yeah.
I think she thought she was gonna be able to talk him into staying at first, and then it hit her. I think like for Madison, she was hoping that he would, stick it out, but I
Right.
think Annie thought he was really gonna stick it out. And the
Oh
other
yeah.
thing that Nick really disliked about their arguments was that Annie would put words in his mouth. And
Right.
so they that happened in Baja, and then it happened again with this argument. And it seems like literally the next day they got up, went to brunch, came back, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm good." Like
Right.
it happened immediately. And again, I have to give him kudos
Right.
because one, he was incredibly patient. He was incredibly calm and clear about how he felt, what he was feeling, and he set a boundary, right? Not in the way that it works in like pop culture, the way people say it, but like, boundaries are for you, not for the other person, right? So he
Right.
set a boundary and he said, you know, you can't do this again. And then she did it again. And so then he was like, I'm out, which is, I mean, I wish I had boundaries like that. I,
Right.
I really struggle with that. So I could learn a little bit from him in that way.
Yeah. So the one thing that I didn't quite get with Nick, was even as he was breaking up with her, he was trying to tell her that he still loved her, and he was like, "Oh, if I didn't love you, I wouldn't be here." And I'm like, "All right, that kind of feels like a mixed message." Like, you can't break up with me, say you never want to spend your life with me, but also be like, "But I'm here and I love you, or else I wouldn't be here." I was like, "Okay, Nick, like,
Okay,
let's
that's
not gaslight."
that's fair.
Yeah.
Um, Another thing completely separate that I don't know how I just noticed this episode 10.
Okay.
She had a scissors tattoo on her
Yes, I
hand
noticed
because
that.
she's a hairstylist, right?
I thought it was cute.
But, you
The snake.
know, if you are uh, a woman loving woman, if you can see my necklace, if you are a woman loving woman, scissors means something else.
Oh
And
my
so
god, I
there was this,
never even thought about that.
yeah, yeah. So it just made me giggle seeing that.
Oh, that's hilarious. So instead
Hmm.
of, the woman loving woman, maybe you could just get some shears.
Right.
Like,
Yeah, that should have been my
right.
necklace.
Okay. Hilarious.
What else in this episode do you want to hit?
Allie and Anton.
Mm.
I'm I'm starting to feel really bad for Anton.
Okay.
Okay. So I know the reason why I feel bad for Anton is I feel like I don't know if Anton wasn't clear in the beginning on who he is and what his lifestyle is,
Mhm.
but it feels like he's feeling rejected, but Allie's not totally telling him she's not going to choose him. Like, we're all watching it. We know the writing's on the wall. Allie is
Yeah.
not gonna say yes. And it's really because of lifestyle differences. Like, we could say Anton is an alcoholic. We don't know if he's an alcoholic or not. All we know is what Ali is insinuating.
Hmm.
Sometimes people have different lifestyles. Like, for some people, it may be normal. It might be part of their culture that they've grown up with having a drink after work, like a glass of wine, and that's normal. Um, it's not something that Ali's comfortable with. It's something that Anton is, and they don't match up. But the
Right.
thing that's crazy to me is like, if you're on Hinge, the first thing that they ask you that you, is like, how much do you drink? Are you a social drinker? You don't drink? Like, you drink
Right.
pretty heavy? And I'm like, this could have been all avoided if they just had these basic conversations at the very beginning. And
Yeah.
and I just hope that that's not the reason why they're breaking up.
Well, so part of me feels like he was dishonest.
Okay.
Because if you think about the episode where she met his friend and
Yeah.
the girlfriend of his friend was like ratting Anton out. And was just like, yeah, they like to party, they like to drink. And I think Anton was like, I used to be that way, but I'm not that way
Right.
anymore. And she was like, we've been together 3 months. They were doing
Own
it three
it.
months ago.
Yeah.
And so I think he wasn't honest with his distance from his like party
Yeah.
boy lifestyle.
Yeah, you're right. I think the honesty means everything. Like, I think, I don't know, if you're single and then you decide you want to be in a committed relationship to get married. I don't think that somebody should hold the fact that you used to go out and party against you when you were single. Like, I do think that you can make that change in lifestyle. But yeah, not to own the lifestyle is a little unsettling.
Yeah.
But I was gonna say
And
also,
also,
I
like,
just feel
what
like
happened to what happened to the beers? I don't know. How many? I don't know.
right.
What happened to the
Did the
tequila?
bottle?
Always a bottle in there? Like, quit lying,
Patrick,
bro.
Patrick came. Patrick was here and drank four of them.
Wait, no, but no, he
Yeah,
wasn't here. He was down. I'm like,
right,
bruh, like, get it together.
right. Yeah, you're right that it's not necessarily totally just about the drinking, but around maybe like the honesty and the communication around it. But yeah, I still have to say I can't believe his friend's girlfriend is like the biggest hater and like outed him. Like that was wild to me.
That is
And
his
I noticed that his friend was not invited to the tux fitting. And I feel like
yeah,
that probably had a lot to do with it. Like,
yeah, I caught
you
that.
basically turned my fiance against me by
Exactly.
bringing this girl.
But also by telling her who I really am.
Right.
Um, I'm trying to think who we should go to next. So that's three. Who's Um, so Megan and Jordan. Jordan was on AD from the Charlotte season. I
Yeah,
never remember the number of the season, maybe season 5, maybe. She has a podcast, and Jordan was on. Did you get to watch it?
I did watch it. Um, so I think I made the comment the other day that Jordan, a lot of what we hear from him tends to focus and be centered around his son. And I just wanted to hear more. It was just like, son, work, gym, that's it. And I felt like it was the same thing with the podcast where it was like, my son, my son, my son, my son. And not to say that there's anything wrong with talking about your son, but and I'm like, okay, this isn't editing. This is the conversation. But part of it too could have been AD asking the questions around his son. But yeah, I was just a little bit disappointed because I always want to know more about Jordan
Right.
outside of his son. Like I feel like we know all about Luca. And I just wanted to get a little bit more of Jordan. But also coming off of it, I was like, okay, I think they're definitely married.
Me
I
too.
think yeah, it was very positive. It was almost like a
And
spoiler. I'm like, "You seem happily married. You seem very
he
happy."
very much. And he was saying he was trying to say some things in past tense, but he kept saying them in present tense. Like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, we have nicknames. Have you continue to have nicknames
Right.
for each
Like,
other. Uh
he just seems
I
so happy with Megan.
yeah, he does seem very happy with Megan, and I think I wrote down like the fact that Jordan and Megan are the most stable couple is ridiculous. Like at the beginning of the season, I never would have thought any couple that Sparkle Megan was in would be the most stable couple.
Right. Okay, so a little bit more about that too. I feel like there's a lot of conversation around women and men and how women are starting to earn more money. And I think sometimes the numbers are exaggerated, but we see an actual example with Megan and Jordan of like a woman that is the breadwinner for the household. And so, like, a lot of people kind of advise against that to say, oh, the husband's going to be insecure, or you're never going to be happy, or he's going to, leave you if he can have the chance to do better. But I love that Megan and Jordan are our example because we're starting to see how it can work. And then
Yeah,
the other thing that I absolutely loved was seeing Jordan's family. Like his dad is funny, and the fact that like his parents have been together for so long. I really took to heart what his dad said about just the love and really commitment being the key to marriage. I was
yeah,
like, oh, that
10%
felt like
love, 90% commitment.
sage
Yeah.
advice. I was like, let me write that down.
Um, I also I also, so one, I think Jordan is the most emotionally mature. I think the guys are
Yeah,
more
he is.
emotionally mature, and Jordan is the most emotionally mature of the group. That said, there's still, room to
Yeah.
grow. And I think that's something that I appreciated from the podcast because AD asked him about the fight in Baja or
Mhm.
the tip in Baja that he had with Megan, where she was just like, "You're being annoying." And he was kind of like, "I was being annoying. Like, I have a very immature sense of humor and, I need to learn right place, right time." And, she was well within her rights to tell me that. And I'm glad she did. And, I need to think of myself as a role model. And I really needed to like clean my act up. So it's like, I appreciated that from
Yeah,
him. And I also appreciated the way he handled it in the moment.
right.
He was just like, okay, well, what do you need? And she's like, I don't know. And he's like, no, like you can't say that you don't like something, but then not tell me what you would rather me do instead. I hate that. So I appreciate that he kind of pushed her on that.
Yeah,
Uh,
he's an excellent communicator. Most
well, that's a good segue into except for when he comes from home from work, apparently.
right.
Megan is freaking out. So I will say, as someone who spends their day talking to people that I don't want to talk to about things that I don't want to talk about, uh, I can understand coming home and just wanting to sit in silence. So the
Yeah,
fact that like Megan is struggling with silence and and he's like, I'm tired.
right.
And she's like, it's like she doesn't believe him that he's tired, but like, I can't remember. I meant to look it up what he does for a living. Do you know?
Um, it said he was like a logistics manager,
Okay.
I think.
Well,
So it wasn't very specific.
yeah. Cause he was like,
Yeah.
I talk to people for 10 hours a day. I'm like,
Wow.
well, I mean, I get that.
Yeah.
Like you come home, you almost say nothing. Um, so I've been there.
Yeah.
Uh, and like sometimes you just need to come home and like look at your phone and disassociate for a little bit. And then, once you've like calmed down, relaxed, then you can have a conversation. And he was just like, we can compromise on this.
Right.
And Megan was very, it seemed like all or nothing. And so I think Megan also got a little bit of a reality check about what having children might be like because, she was saying to Jordan, she's like, I might have to go to LA for a few days and then maybe I want to hop up to Aspen. And Jordan was like, well, yeah, when you have a kid, you can't do that. Like, you can't, you need to be more stable. You can't just like up and go.
Okay.
And so I felt that that was, I think she was like, "Oh yeah, I guess that's right." And I mean, like, I wouldn't think about that either because I don't have kids. You don't have to think that way. He was just like,
Right.
having kids will really slow you down. And so I think she was probably like, "Oh, true."
Yeah. I could relate to Megan, in that instance, and I think I would be thinking more like Megan as well. Like I'd be like, "What do you mean we can't go to Italy because we have a kid? Why don't we just bring the kid with us or like find a babysitter?" Um, which shows that, I don't have a kid. I have a dog. Like, my dog goes with the pet sitter.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, it's a totally different life, definitely different type of experience and things to consider.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. All right, shaping an FM.
Yeah. Now, I feel like the past couple episodes we've been complaining about Edmund, but this episode, KB's behavior felt so offensive and very aggressive to me. Um, and I hate to say that, but it was that's how it felt. Her KB cursing out Edmund was insane. And then her saying, "You're the one who brought me to this place," um, was also, I think, not owning it because I'll say it's not in me to curse out probably anybody, but definitely not my partner,
Uh,
you know? So I'm like, there's nobody that could bring me to a place if that place doesn't exist within you, you
yeah.
know?
And so I'm gonna disagree with you because
Okay.
I done cussed out a partner, many a partner.
Okay.
Um, and I think what she said that resonated with me is that like this isn't who she is anymore. So
Yes,
yes,
I
it's
heard her say
still
that.
you, but like we said she has to be the most patient person in the world, but everybody has a breaking point. And so if
Yeah.
you push and push and push, and he's gaslighting and he's acting one way on camera and a different way off camera, and you're trying to like connect with him and have a conversation and get him to like take accountability, and he'd be like, well, I didn't do anything. Like, I would have cussed him out too. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like,
Yeah.
but it's like if you like it, and it is again, you're pushing me because like my natural is to go on. I'm staying calm for both of our sakes. Um,
Yeah.
so I've been there and I've been in a relationship where I've been good and then I've just been pushed like just that little bit too far. And it's not good. It's not good when it happens. It's like you try to control it, and we get better at it as we get older. But when I was her age, I was doesn't everybody.
Yeah. I I will say like I felt like what she did was emotionally abusive. And I know
I've
that
seen
that
other
feels
takes
really
like that.
strong.
Yeah, I've seen
Yeah.
other takes like that.
Cuz
I disagree,
I
but
just think about like what if I was on the receiving end of somebody talking to me like that? And I can't imagine if I was Edmund and KB talked to me like that, for me that would be the breaking point where I realize like, oh, this isn't gonna work. Yeah.
if she talked to you like that while you were gaslighting her,
Right, you're right. You're like, you would never be Edmund. You wouldn't be gaslighting. But no,
because
but for
even
mhm,
when he apologized, he said, and she said during, she was like, you know where
yeah.
my buttons are and you push them on purpose. I think he thinks it's fun and funny because he's a child. And so
Okay.
he is like stomping on her last nerve on purpose to make her look like the bad guy.
Wow.
And I strongly listen. I would have left him in Baja when he was crying about not being able to get coochie. So she's a better one than me in a lot of ways. But
Yeah.
I, no, no, I rock with, I know a lot of people have said that. I think people take out, like they're looking at it in a vacuum and they're not looking at the fact that
Right.
she has spent a month with this man kissing the floor, hiding in cabinets, um, you know,
Right.
just
Crying.
generally crying because he can't have sex with her
Right.
before they're married. Like everybody has a limit.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I guess I do look at it as, being within a vacuum to say that, yeah, for me, that's a deal breaker. For somebody to curse me out in the way that she did him, that's a deal breaker for me.
yeah, and
Yeah.
that's fair.
Yeah, they were intense.
They were intense
They
this
were
episode,
intense.
these episodes for sure.
Right. But yeah, I was feeling bad for Edmund. I don't know. This is the first time that I actually started feeling bad for him. Yeah.
Still a heart.
Yeah.
Um, all right. So next week we have the weddings.
Okay.
So we have three couples left. Should we do predictions?
Yeah, definitely. All right. My predictions are the only people to get married are going to be Jordan and Megan. Everybody else is going to say no.
Which one in the couple do you think is going to sing?
Oh, KB's definitely saying no. I don't think there's a world where Edmund would say no. I think he genuinely loves KB and wants to be with her. He was talking about wanting to have kids with her. Um, we're gonna see Edmund cry next week. I can see that happening. And then also Allie's going to say no, and it's gonna break Anton's heart. And I don't want to see that. That's gonna be so sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Ellie as well. So I agree with all of you. I don't know the Edmund and Haley one, and I think Edmund is a little bit more calculated than me.
You think Edmund would say no?
I think, I mean, I think he was pushing her past her limit
Yeah.
to make her look bad and
Wow.
therefore give him reason
To say
to leave
no.
her.
That would be wild.
We'll
If
see.
Edmund said no to
We'll see.
KV.
I don't know. I don't know. It's just like this
It's a
tiny
possibility
inkling,
though. Right.
tiny
It's that's a
inkling
possibility. That would be so wild.
about how he's like ignores her and doesn't speak to her when the cameras aren't there. But then he acts like everything's fine when the cameras are there. Like that is
Yeah.
very much like he
It's
maybe is
calculated.
realizing how he's going to look and he's
Right.
trying to like save it.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Okay. So what about a soft take? What's your soft take for the week? How are you living the soft life?
Right, right. We are all about the soft life here. How am I living the soft life? What's funny is I had one earlier and now I can't remember what it was.
All right, I'll start.
Yes.
Um, I will say this week I'm living the soft life by getting back into my fall wardrobing. I love fall because of the colors. My name is Autumn, but also I'm a warm autumn in terms of like color theory and like the olives like I'm wearing now, the burnt orange, siennas, goldenrods. I'm really leaning hard into letting what I wear bring me joy.
Go with that. It's not cold for it, so we are not. We're not doing that here yet. It was like I think 80, high in the 80s. Um,
Yeah.
I would say that my soft life moment was it was I would say it was a little bit more energetic than soft life, but it was soft for like my soul. It was
Oh,
Atlanta Pride was this past weekend.
okay.
And I got to go, even though I am, you know, a few months out of my uh, woman loving woman relationship. And she is someone who I have previously gone with. And I didn't really have anyone to go with this year. I volunteered with my company to be in the parade. And then I volunteered also to like be at our booth. And so that
Yeah.
just felt good because I still got to get the energy of pride, maybe not the way that I normally do, but I still got
Yeah.
to get the energy and the joy and the festivity of pride that we have in Atlanta.
I love that, Maya.
Okay, so this weekend there's going to be a lot of this upcoming week. There are going to be a lot of things happening. We have Nick and most likely Alandria's meet and greet in LA tomorrow on Friday. We
Right.
have the Agua de Kefir Halloween party on Saturday. You're going to be fed so much Van Harten
Can't wait.
loaves of bread all
We're gonna
weekend.
see outfits, costumes. Yeah.
Cannot wait. Cannot wait. And I'm so excited to see what Nic and Olandria end up wearing. Um, Also exciting weekend for us
Yes, that's
because
what I thought you were gonna say at first. I was like, it's homecoming
it's
weekend.
homecoming weekend. It's Spellhouse homecoming weekend. So I am excited to see you in the flesh and also for us to have a little fun this weekend. I'm looking forward to it. It's definitely
It's our
much
family
needed.
reunion.
It is a family reunion. If you've never attended a Spellman and Morehouse homecoming,
You
it's
haven't
not for
lived.
everyone. I wasn't gonna say
Very
you should
true.
do
If you
it
don't like
because it's not for
crowds,
everyone.
you don't like parties,
Not
you don't like
everyone gets it.
handsome men. But maybe it's not for you. It's
Maybe
fun.
it's not for you.
Yeah.
Well, um, so we made it through our first episode.
Oh, this was great.
It was stressful, but it was great.
So
Um,
where can people follow you, Maya?
so you can follow me personally on all social media, Maya T. Pradu, which is going to be somewhere in the description. So every social media site you can think of, and Maya T. Prabhu. You can also follow our social media. We are on Instagram. We are on TikTok. We have a page on Spotify, and we are on Patreon. And so all of that is the single standard. And so you can find us all there. And where can everyone find Blue Autumn?
You can follow me on Instagram and TikTok. I am Autumn Elizabeth, Autumn with the E.
Right. Well, we made it. And I'm so excited
We'll see you next
for
week.
the future. We will be back next week talking about the wedding episode, the last episode of season 9 of Love is Blind. Because, reality shows, you might get the spotlight.
But here, we set the standard.
Bye.